This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. We're back, baby. There's a new patch in play. You got big roster changes, and Champion Seoul is on the horizon. We are in for one hell of a month. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stage 2 of VCT Americas, coming at you live from the Riot Games Arena here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Of course, I'm Golden Boy here, joined by Wyatt. You got Ball over there as well. The Breakdown Buddies are back. Yes?
Yeah, and I'm ready to break down.
I'm breaking down already.
Oh, actually, as a matter of fact, I realize we're missing one person.
Who?
Don't worry about it. Actually, give me a sec. Microphone, please! Oh, yeah, that's right, baby. She's got a 4-foot vertical, fought a wolf with her bare freaking hands, and she's 325 pounds of solid freaking muscle. It's your defending Game Changers champion. Welcome to the stage, Mel! Oh, thank you so much.
10X. The 10X. Let me say that.
Wow, we had how did we get a crowd in the studio?
Where'd they go? They're just gone.
they all shows how many fans we've got. Yeah, that's tough. They have cleared out fast.
Mel, hopefully that was an adequate, that satisfied your contract for the opening
Absolutely.
and everything. Okay.
And actually, this isn't even for a GC. It was actually for the Millustrator. But there's only one person. It was me. But a win's a win. A win is a win. We take those.
Well, Mel, it is excellent to have you back. How's everything been?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, you know, I mean, hey, that's life, right?
You're grinding. That's what I say.
You're working.
You're grinding.
You're working hard. By the way, you can take the belt and just lay it on the table.
Shall I? Thank you.
I think that's way funnier. Yeah, here you go. Boom. There it is. I'll have to fix it and prop it up so that this way it could be forever
displayed properly.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk. Let's do our job, right? Please, guys. Serious.
What is our job?
Our job? We'll talk about patch 8.11. All right, folks, that's what we're going to be playing here on the stage today. We got some big changes. Everyone's favorite duelist, ISO, is now in play.
And he is my favorite at this point.
Yeah, at this point, he's your favorite. But, Bala, go ahead and run through some of the changes that we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, first off, the map pool, I think that's going to be the most important one for the teams coming into this. And then the agent changes as well. ISO's got the shield that makes him crazy good. Neon moves really fast and can shoot while moving, so that's cool. And then Reyna, I mean, why? You're really hyped about those. I'm not so hyped, but I think...
Here's the Neon clip, by the way, from Timmy that shattered my brain.
What is that?
I mean, my guy is playing Apex Legends, okay?
No.
This is his pack.
I've seen this clip. This one is crazy. This one is ridiculous.
Wait.
Also ridiculous because Busio shirtless, but outside of that, I mean.
All right, this is nothing crazy so far. Got the shield coming out of this.
Yeah,
normal.
Whoa, wait a minute.
It is actually crazy how fast the ISO moves when reappearing. Like, you immediately just start, like, if you just hold down a key when you're getting out of it, and you just immediately start gliding.
We really just wanted to show off Bustio's, his pecs and his...
That's the movement, by the way.
Insane.
What do you guys think?
Oh. Wait, that was actually unironically good race movement. Hold on.
Yeah, Busio.
I mean, supposedly the satchel movement, nerfed.
Yeah, supposedly.
It doesn't really seem.
Could you tell the difference?
No.
Oh yeah, this is showing the fear of God.
That's me every game. I feel it, Derek.
So I've actually been playing Valorant on console. It's been quite fun.
I'm glad you finally get to play Valorant.
I'm so I mean, he's fired. Yeah, ISO's a menace over there too, man. Like, ISO is just insanely powerful.
Even on console, like, people actually could flake up to, like, the little...
People full swing with the damn shield out, and there's just nothing they can... It's like people forgot how to shoot their gun. Then again, it's Valorant on console. So what are you going to do, right? Now, that being said, though, folks, we just got back from Masters Shanghai, where, of course, America's topped at 3rd place, thanks to G2. Now, I think the question for the panel here is, overall, how do we feel America's did coming out of Shanghai, rather? Wyatt, how do you feel?
I don't feel amazing about it, but I don't feel terrible either. It was solid overall. G2 were just a consistent force throughout the tournament. They racked up some nice wins, but there was no moment for either NA team that was really stunning. You leave the tournament thinking, oh, wow, we're at our best right now, but solid.
Yeah, well, I guess the question is, did we send the best of Americas in Shanghai?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say, right? Like, the best that we saw was G2, and they played excellent. But before Shanghai, before even playoffs, you wouldn't have said, oh, G2, 100 Thieves, they're going to tear it up at Shanghai, right? Yeah. And I honestly think G2 100% did. 100 Thieves played pretty well, too. I mean, taking some big names down there and looking fantastic in the opening for them. Yeah. I think for me, it's how the rest of America's kind of performed, right? Leviatán in Swiss and everybody trying to make it here. Sentinels was not there. You know, the big teams were not there. Yeah. And that means to me that the potential for Americas is going to go crazy. But I don't think we sent our best. With that said, they are our best right now.
Mel, you concur?
I mean, I think the elephant in the room is, like, imagine if we had sent Sen, and I think even they think that as well. But, like, the reality of it is like, their form was not looking like they would have been, like, an actual contender if they had gone, and they themselves have said that. So I think, for me, in my heart of hearts, it would have been insane to see Sen at, like, the same form where they were at Madrid also go to Shanghai. But I think ultimately we did send the top three. Like, I think the best of the best did go. But I also feel like we're so spoiled as a region where we get two teams in the top four, two NA teams in the top four, and we're like, yeah,
that was trash, bro.
I mean, it's the first time since Copenhagen that we haven't been in the finals. So, yeah, we're spoiled. We're spoiled.
Yeah. So if you're not in the finals, trash. Send it back. Absolute garbage. No, jokes aside, of course, let's go ahead and focus on stage 2 here, because here's the goal. It is to make it to Champions Seoul. And this is when the championship points are going to start to come into play here. Let's go ahead and show you all the standings and where we are right now. No groups. We're just going to focus on the records and who is up on top. And you can see how it's laid out right now, but I mean, guys, we have so much more left to play here in stage 2. This could look very different when we revisit it in just 4 simple weeks.
And I think as well, this is when teams really start to think about the champions points, right? Sentinels up there. 100 Thieves up there, 9 points. They're tied at the top with each other. And Sentinels is right now at risk, right? 6th place. That's the cutoff for playoffs going into it. So if you're not making playoffs, you're not making champs, and you'll need those points absolutely at the end of this.
Is there an opportunity, though, for movement here, right? I mean,
sure.
And do you think it can be Loud? Do you think it could be EG? Is there opportunity there for those teams to be able to break through that?
Yeah, definitely. The teams that weren't peaking before Shanghai, that didn't make it, that now had some time off to, in some cases, make roster moves like Loud bringing in Pancata, but also just having time off to take advantage of the new patch, some of the new agents, some of the changes, that kind of thing. They'll be able to definitely peak higher in this stage than they did in stage 1. And when you're looking at the breakdown where 100 Thieves and G2, they're like 3-2 and 3-3, they can get passed by teams that are going to peak now that did in stage 1 like Loud.
Now, my question is, though, right? When you look at how the breakdown kind of goes and what we're going to end up getting out of this, is there an opportunity for maybe, you know, some of these other teams, like in the lower part of it, to be able to try and fight their way back? Like that's what I'm really trying to figure out here. It's like, is there a chance for the teams in the bottom portion of the bracket to be able to punch their way back in?
I feel like you can never count them out. And I mean, we can bring up EG here, for example. Like, look what they did last year. They were literally only getting into playoffs by the most slimmest of margins. Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, EG is now part of, like, the bottom teams again in the standings. So I feel like you can never count them out, because you can never guarantee how the other teams above you are going to perform. And also, if you can peak at the right time, which is so pivotal in this game. Yeah. Like, genuinely, anything can happen. Not to get anyone hopes up, but anything can happen.
Anything's possible.
MIBR is going on a run.
Yeah, well, maybe not that one. But no, EG are a great example, because they started playing really well at the end of the season, but it was too little too late then. Not going to be the case now if they keep it up.
For sure. Well, let's go ahead and dive into what we're going to be checking out here today. We got some good matches lined up for y'all. Now, of course, we're going to be kicking things off with Leviatán. After their run at Shanghai, we'll now have an opportunity to start things off against MIBR, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the MIBR camp in just a little bit. And then we're going to have a banger of a match to start off stage 2. You got Sentinels taking on a newly refreshed NRG. This is certainly going to be fascinating. I mean, because we just have so many changes coming into this. It really is anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, Leviatán misperformed in Shanghai, right? They have the opportunity to show that they could actually go back for a run, and then nobody knows what's going to happen in that next game, right? You don't know if Sentinel's going to come back to form. You don't know what the form is going to look like with NRG over there with Finesse back in the mix. So I'm super excited for that one. That's going to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, we'll find out very, very soon. But for now, though, let's go ahead and talk about some fun, some funsies, right? Because this weekend, we're throwing a block party. We do it every time for the beginning of the stage here at the Riot Games Arena. And thankfully, we got Smix, our resident block party expert, standing by. Smix, what you got?
Smix here at the block party celebrating Pride Month, and I just found out that for everyone who shows up today, you do get this little goodie box, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. It looks like we have this beautiful Valo bear celebrating Pride Month. Nice, thick socks. Am I allowed to keep these? Yeah, I'm definitely taking these home with me today. And then last but not least, there was definitely a sticker somewhere and it fell. My bad, guys. Where is it? Oh, it's hiding. It's right here. So a nice little sticker here for everyone who shows up at the block party. It's great times.
We all got our little Tac-to-Bear with the heart. It's adorable. Love it. Also, I was dying because I'm like, there's no shot they kept that video of Sue not finding the sticker.
The block party expert.
Our block party expert. What a throw there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's first matchup. We're going to talk about Leviatán first and foremost. Now, of course, they're going to be coming into this stage with the same roster, but there is a change. They, too, are seeing some changes. We have a new coach. Now, Mel, how does that impact things? Do you think it impacts things a lot, a little, with the change out of Goked for Iropada?
I think it depends on how much time the coach really has to cook, to be honest. And I think it can definitely revitalize a team. It can also make things go south, but most of the times, like, changing a coach will have a net positive for the team because the coach can come in as like a new face and come in and address mistakes from like a different angle that maybe the players haven't seen before and stuff like that, and putting in new structures and systems. I'm not like too I don't know too in depth about what kind of systems that Iropada has implemented in the past or to what success he has implemented them, but I'm excited to see if we actually see anything like physical in the game, because I know at the end of playoffs when Lev was playing like lower finals, their post plants, they had to fix those bad.
Oh,
and
sorry.
so I'm wondering,
I misspoke. Sorry. I was thinking about something else.
I'm wondering if a new coach can bring up, like, see these mistakes and, like, point them out, and maybe they have, like, a different look. We'll see. Yeah. I'm not expecting a completely different look, considering, like, the time that they have together with him, but...
Yeah, no, completely fair. I mean, it's, of course, going to be a question mark going into this here, and, you know, I mean, speaking of the post plants and the things that they were struggling with, there were certainly elements in Shanghai where you were seeing that really come to fruition there, Wyatt, for this Leviatán team that, you know, I mean, everyone was giving them the upper hand in every single match that they were in Shanghai, and rightfully so.
Definitely. When you look at the tournament and their run with a little bit of hindsight, they lost their first game really close to Genji, who won. After that, they kind of trashed on T1. It was the third game, the one they went out in, which was displaying the huge variance that the team has. Two great performances, two solid performances, and then the one against Foot. The note they left out on was just tragic.
Yeah, it was actually kind of shocking because I remember going into that day and everyone was like, look, Foot can win, right? But Leviatán should not lose. And that was kind of the tone, but then Foot just shocked us all.
I think that's kind of why you have the team making some changes on the coaching staff, right? And for context, too, Iropada is being promoted from assistant coach, and they actually added Juvenile, who used to coach for Com back on a crew before he even made it to the VCT. So there's a little bit more there, and it'll be very interesting, I think, for these next 4 weeks in the regular season, how that's actually going to unfold for this team, if there's going to be changes.
All right, well, let's actually go ahead and hear from the coach, the new coach of Leviatán, Iropada, as he's going to be standing by with Smix.
Good morning, Coach Iropada. I know you're coming in as the head coach for Stage 2. How has your team been adjusting post-Shanghai?
I think pretty well, because we had some off time, and I think right now everyone is really enjoying the game again. We had some issues before that, and right now everyone's enjoying themselves, and it feels like we have a honeymoon phase again, which is pretty nice.
Everyone loves a good honeymoon. Best of luck today.
All right, the players are enjoying the game.
I'd be enjoying it, too, if I could buy Aspas on ISO every game.
That's very true. He's going to have a field day today. All right, well, let's go ahead, though, and dive into that match that you were talking about, Wyatt, that elimination match that we saw against Foot in Shanghai. Because the thing is, again, to, you know, bring it all back, right, this was not the team that we are used to seeing or had expected to see at an international scale.
Not at all. This first map was their pick, Sunset, where they looked fantastic in stage 1. Their defense with the Breach and Gecko was incredible, and having to relive seeing parts of that map is a little excruciating. Things that were occurring there were ridiculous. That 2v2 where King TP'd away from his teammate with the spike down to the other side of the map. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, it felt very disjointed and just, again, like very unlike what you would come to expect from the players of this caliber, Mel.
And I think it's funny you bring up Sunset because I remember my team even watched so many of their Sunset VODs and were watching exactly how they were playing defense because I especially thought they played defense really well. And to see that result against Foot was actually mind-boggling. And to go back to what you were saying, I do think that they have like the caliber of players to make deep runs. And so what we're seeing right now is they're kind of seeing their skill floor get exposed. We can see that they can have a really close match against Gingy, for example, but when you play against like the third EMEA seed and then you go out in that fashion, like you got to raise that floor in somehow, in some way.
Fascinating. And honestly, you know, you're also going to be turning to individuals to help elevate that, right? Osbos is one of those guys, Bala, who this team will always lean on. When he's on your roster, you got to, right? Yeah. You have no other choice. But he, too, wasn't having... It was an all-right showing overall in Shanghai, but I remember that final game was just
that Foot game
wanted.
was probably one of his worst maps that we've seen from Osbos. And so that's the unfortunate part. But also the kind of thing, when you have a star like this, you're trying to set him up, and then how that makes everybody else work within the team, how it makes them feel as well is something that I think is maybe underappreciated in rosters like this, where it's a mixed international roster. How you make everything work, that's what they really need to figure out in my mind, especially with the kind of inconsistencies that Wyatt you're talking about, with the post punts that you're talking about. Those sort of things are very difficult to make a bunch of talented players work together when there's other barriers in place as well.
Yeah, and being able to set up those systems, I think, is going to be, it has to be the focus for Leviatán this stage. Of course, we'll see how that plays out for them, but let's go ahead and move on to their opponents. You got MIBR. Now, this team started off all right in Kickoff, right? We were a little like, okay, cool, maybe something's happening here. Maybe they're cooking a little bit. And then after that, they couldn't win a single map in stage 1. And this is an accomplishment that no other team has been able to reach, which is quite alarming here. So you got to be ringing the alarm bells, right, if you're the MIBR management. And they did.
And they are, yeah. But to bring it back to that Kickoff performance from them, too, I was super excited for that team. They looked so good. And I was very confused to me because they brought in, Fraud this season to assistant coach with Bazooka at that point. But Fraud wasn't even involved. I was like, where'd they pull this out from? Yeah. It's just insane what they were doing in Kickoff. And the drop-off is so drastic and dramatic that, obviously something had to happen for this team, and it did.
Part of that drop-off for me that was really frustrating was that they didn't actually change anything from Kickoff to the regular season when all the other teams were already moved on to Gecko.
Yeah,
they were still playing like Perma Sky on every map. They just changed up nothing from that early meta of this year.
Yeah.
They would be a good team to actually experiment because of their standings. Like, they could actually punch up if they had, like, funnier, more diverse comps, like, funnier game plans. I think they would benefit a lot from that, actually.
Well, the thing is that MIBR needs to be flawless in this stage if they even want to have a chance. And that's not factoring in all the other crap that can come into play. So we'll see if maybe they do decide to take some more risks. I mean, they certainly are with some of the choices that they're making. Let's actually go ahead, though, and head over to the head coach of MIBR, the new head coach. You got Fraud, who's got a few things in store for a new MIBR this stage.
Good morning, Coach Fraud. What have you and the team done to prepare for the stage, given all of the recent challenges that you've had?
We've just been practicing with different rosters, different mixes of players. I mean, we really only had about 3 or 4 days of practice with this specific group. So it's been really challenging, but I think that, we're up for the challenge, and, it's a good group of guys that are practicing hard and have a lot to prove. So I think we're going to, do a good job today.
Amazing to hear. Best of luck.
And thankfully for Fraud, he does not have to play because as a 36-year-old man who can't aim anymore, I felt this tweet at my core.
He was ready to throw down.
Oh, he was ready. He's way better than I'll ever be.
And let me act very surprised for a second. Was that ShazHam? Did you see that? Was that ShazHam?
Oh, man.
I didn't even notice.
Look at the roster.
I actually didn't notice.
Yeah, that's right. We got some changes here for MIBR because they hit the reset button. So you say bye-bye to FRZ, JZZ, and RGL Meister, as well as Coach Bazooka. And you got got a new head coach with Fraud. And then on top of that, they just announced that they added Liazi, Paula, as well as Rich to the lineup. But due to some issues, the visa issues, 2 of those players not able to make it here today. So instead, we get Paint and ShazHam coming in. And yes, everyone, that's ShazHam. You're seeing him. There's only one.
Shaq?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's Kazam.
ShazHam, you bum. But anyway, yeah, this is exciting, man. I'm pumped to see ShazHam back on stage again. But Wyatt, it's a drastic change for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember talking to ShazHam when he was here on the desk, and he really wanted to compete. He was really driven to get back into Tier 1 and play. And so I'm not surprised to see him take this opportunity, and I think he's going to take it very seriously, despite when you're looking at this roster, how kind of ridiculous it feels that this has come together last second.
I think this is so interesting because the last time we saw him, he was on G2, he was IGLing still, you know, all that stuff. Before that, at a Tier 1 level, we saw him back on Sentinels, and that was full control for ShazHam. Here, it's such a different experience. I mean, playing with a full Brazilian, or almost full Brazilian roster, different environment for him completely, right? Mazin's going to continue to IGL here. That's the sort of thing that it's going to be interesting, man. He's kind of, I don't know, is he going to be unlocked? I don't know. This is going to be really fun to watch.
But there's a face that I haven't seen before that I'm not too privy about, and that's Paint. And I know you were mentioning, Mel, that you knew a little bit about him, and what's he looking to bring to the table here for this MIBR roster?
Yeah, Paint, it's actually funny. I ran Sam in Ranked the other day, and this kid is, like, so nice. But something I noticed just from playing Ranked with him is how communicative he is and what util he wants and what fights he wants to take. And normally when you see duelists ask for that, even in Ranked, it's, like, a really good sign that they'll do that in, like, a team environment as well. So he's actually super cracked, super nice, super fun to talk to, and he also gives me the vibe that he has, like, an Oxy-like energy to him. He's not, like, a silent killer that just goes around the map and shoots everyone. He just talks, gets the energy up, and I think that they're actually going to need that, especially because there's going to be like a little bit of a comms barrier. And that's why I also think Shaz is going to be actually really good in this specific environment, because Shaz is an IGL prior, right? And he's going to have that like mid-rounding voice where when the comms can't like go through perfectly through multiple languages in the mid-round, he can just instantly make a very definitive like, let's go here in the middle of the round.
That's a good call, and it will be interesting to see that certainly play out for sure, you know, if they run into those situations. But you have to wonder, right? Like if you're Lev in this situation, right? And you got 2 new guys coming into this. I mean, pressure's on you, I think, right? Like, Lev can't give this one up, because if they do, not only are you giving up MIBR wins, but also, like, 2 stand-ins. But it is difficult, right, Ball? It is difficult for ShazHam and Paint and Liazi as well to bring that much change that fast to the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so hard for them. And when you're thinking about Lev in reaction to that, right, like, how do they respond? For me, I kind of think maybe it might be an advantage. They're going to look at the other side. They're going to see ShazHam who's playing. They're going to see people that they played in Paint and Ranked and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, these guys are just... Yeah, they're ranked players. I'll just be like, this is my home turf. Let's go.
Yeah, you would think. We'll see. But let's go ahead, though, jump back out to the block party. You got Smix with some more fun.
Hey guys, Smix here at the Riot Games Arena block party celebrating Pride Month. And I'm joined by Matthew. We're here at the green screen photo booth where anyone can walk up, take some photos, and you'll give them the direction, right?
Yep, we get free pictures today. We have prints and digitals. You get to choose from 4 different backdrops. So let's get started.
Sounds great to me. Not bad at all. Make sure to check it out, guys, here right at the block party.
Oh, man. Well, first things first, I think we all got to, in solidarity, do the Smix. All right, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, everyone. Now, I would say this has been a great desk for today, right? We're cooking, we're having a great time, and everyone's been so informative and so smart, excluding myself. But let's go ahead, though, and change all of that. You're smart. That's right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get a little messy, shall we? It's time to rank the top 5 players of Stage 1, everyone's favorite thing to do, ranking humans. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We have a bunch of players here, 7 players, and you guys all picked your top 5. This was the result. Not a bad overlap.
I would like to come together in something of a peaceful manner here, and we can all just say that Aspas is number 1.
Okay.
And if you don't have him at number 1,
Wait a minute, Bala, you don't seem too
Joker.
enthusiastic.
No, absolutely. What do you mean? Of course he's number 1.
Okay, good job.
48 kills in a game. Like, come
There's
on.
no one else that can be
Good job.
number 1. For stage
I
1,
tried.
you can't pick anyone else for
All right.
number 1.
All right.
All right, should I go next?
How about let's do number 3?
Number 3. All right.
Yeah.
I will go for, because for some reason I feel like y'all are really low on Oxy, so let me throw him up there. I think he should maybe number 2.
3.
Maybe number 2, but I'll leave him there for now.
Okay.
All right.
Do we agree on Oxy number 3?
It's a general placement area I'm okay with.
Yeah,
to
see, I knew y'all were low on him, but dude had the best
We'll get
stats.
into the
Was
minutia
flying
later.
so hard.
Let's see 2.
Highest rating, highest AC.
Let's see 2. Let's
Who would
see
you
2.
put at
Mel,
2?
who you
To be
got?
honest, I feel like we can
Yeah.
also get on board Cryo's performance is a pretty big
Yes.
I could be
factor
there.
in
Yes.
them
I could be
qualifying,
good.
I would say.
To me,
I'm fine with that.
biggest factor was playoff performance, or the lead up to that.
Absolutely.
Playoff
Everyone
performance.
agreed.
Let's see how this plays out, because I don't know if we're gonna stay.
So we're saying right now, Aspas number 1. That's not changing, right?
No.
Cryo number 2. Oxy number 3.
All right, so who do you have left? We have EU, Valen,
Leaf, and
Kesnet.
Leaf.
So
is
Bala
out.
did not believe, apparently. I could just tell by hearing how Bala
personally,
said that.
I don't know if you guys had EU, but I did. I
did too.
wanted EU
I
in
as well.
my
I did too.
Oh, really? We all did.
Okay.
We're all on the same.
Okay.
Whoa,
You guys.
everyone
This is
agreed.
This is so peaceful and
You
fun.
guys, I don't
love
like.
agreeing with my friends.
I don't like any of this. Okay, I need problems. I need friction.
All right,
mean,
well,
this just
let me
makes
cause
too
a
much
problem.
sense.
We're like y'all are disrespecting Kesnet right now, because I know I was the only one to put him up here. And for the same reason for Oxy, this guy fried in the regular stage, maybe playoffs.
He did.
Dude
He
played
did.
2 series, and
Production is on him.
Hey, production's like, no. Oh, wait a minute. Mel's going. Oh, brother, what you doing?
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that.
Put him in the middle.
so we can put 2.
Was I the only person that put Leaf?
You might have been.
I think I was the only person that put Leaf. He was just so
Respect.
important for
Respect.
G2.
Good.
For
Good.
stage, we're talking stage 1. He
Yeah.
was so important for the team.
Okay.
He was so massive.
So this is it. So we okay. Our sound
Respect
effects
for
all over the
that,
place.
but also I just got like this is the last
Valent,
spot.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah, this is
I
Valen
think
played
this is great.
so well.
And we're fine with Oxy in 3rd and Cryo 2nd.
I actually had Oxy below EU. Personally, I would do a little flip. I think
Okay, I mean,
EU
it
was
played so many
the
more games
best
to play on.
initiator.
I would flip
of-
the other way though. So yeah, how about we just
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Bala's
flip the other
adding a
way.
This is
spanner.
crazy.
No, whoa, this is
No.
crazy. I knew it.
Oxy is good.
Production is not happening.
All right, so there you have the
They
list.
know the takes are correct.
this is biased towards people who made it through to Shanghai. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
They made it
well,
there because
I mean-
they were playing really well.
Stage 1, they made it there. Cloud9 made it there because the rest of his team didn't play well.
The math, not math.
All right,
Not
guys.
mathing.
So
Put
there
Oxy
you go.
there.
Mel's
I think
causing
this
more
is
problems. Wait, you
perfection.
just
I've
bringing
just been messing with them.
you just bringing Oxy down to 4?
Yeah,
Man,
this is perfect. This is perfect.
this is perfect.
I'm not.
Sorry, Bala.
Oh, the crowd agrees.
They love it.
The crowd agrees.
Cleaned it up.
All right, guys. Well, we're running out of time here. You can see the
Whatever.
timer. We have less than 2 minutes. So, 2-minute warning. Let's go ahead and figure out who's winning some games, some matches.
Well, we're putting
today.
this here
Right now.
Right
We're
here.
doing it right here, right now, in front of these faces.
Wow. No, I'm going to start off with a bold take.
Bold.
I think Leviatán will be beating MIBR.
Oh my God! Oh my God! What is that? What the hell?
I can explain. I knew this was gonna happen, and so last night, right before I fell asleep, I changed my pred to NRG just.
That's
just
so
because
real.
My
You
brain is
deemed
telling
That's
me
crazy.
so.
I mean, I think it's like a 50-50.
Yes, that is crazy. That is absurd. How does nobody have any faith in NRG?
I had
kinda
contemplated
wanna
going
swap
NRG, but then I really didn't want to get yelled at by people on the internet.
Why would you get yelled at?
That feels so cursed.
People don't know I
That
exist.
is.
I'm NRG are winning. I'm
Take me.
switching. I'm
NRG's
switching.
100%.
I feel caught.
We know
Going for
about this
Sentinels,
power.
caught.
Absolutely
Yeah, I'm
not.
switching.
So you guys are you picked Sentinels.
Yeah, because
Everything-
I want them to come back and
Yeah,
play well.
Okay, but you're mad about people not picking NRG.
Yes, man. Pick NRG. What is this?
Why didn't you pick NRG?
I'm picking-
Because Sentinels is gonna win.
Oh, that's why everyone picked it. I don't know what else at you. It's like, it's this guy. Next time you pick NRG.
No.
Put your neck out there, bro. Come on.
I mean,
That graphic feels way too cursed.
Yeah.
Like, way too cursed.
This could be a very,
swapping. I think it's
very
NRG now.
interesting day.
Live NRG all day.
All right, everyone. Well, look, the road to Champion Soul starts right here. It's Leviatán versus MIBR, and then you have Sentinels taking on NRG. Stage 2 of VCT Americas starts right now.
Metadinha já foi, tem que confiar no parceiro. Artezinho, puniu, vai na busca. Finaliza!
Un disparo directo enviado al cráneo del nuestro. Macino, ¿cómo amasa? Son las 3 bajas.
Valen's left alone. He's got to play hero, and he cannot. From first strike to their first title of the partnership era, 100 Thieves are your mid-season champions.
And the teams that they took out to get here as well, it was crazy.
This is the final stretch to make champs. Every game counts as long as we pull the wins. And my heart can take as many map 3s as it can, then, you know, we'll be fine.
Solo hay 4 cupos para Américas en la Champions. Lo único que no nos tiene que ganar es el nerviosismo, la ansiedad. Y creo que con eso nos podemos clasificar y consagrar campeones.
I mean, that's a VALORANT trailer moment.
Com os resultados da primeira temporada, realmente a gente precisa ganhar 100%. Não nos podemos dar o luxo de perder nenhum jogo.
It's important for Sentinels to get the spot in champs. I mean, we're Sentinels, the powerhouse.
Sentinels are feeling it! Let's go! This is our game! We want it more!
The top 6 teams make it into playoffs, and so we really don't have any forgiveness here. It does feel like a do-or-die situation even coming out in week 1, and so there's a bit of pressure, but we thrive in it.
Riot Games Arena, chegou a hora de dar início ao segundo split do Américas e de receber o nosso primeiro time, MIBR!
Sou brasileiro, trabalhador que vai à luta, não desiste, merecedor dessa conquista. Nascidos para o mundo, trago o Brasil no meu peito, busca das vitórias. Responsa é com nós mesmos. Quando me perdi, me encontrei comigo mesmo e tirei forças onde sei da. Amigos eu ganhei, perdi, são coisas da vida. O que me dói é minha família longe. Torcedores falham, outros me motivam. Vou persistir nessa longa estrada da vida. Vencer é obrigação, derrota é uma lição. Desistir pra nós não é mais opção. Hoje mesmo busco o que é nosso sonho. Nossos sonhos, nossas glórias, nossos sonhos. Seja quem quiser ser.
Y ustedes lo saben, vuelve el dragón a la arena. Que se escuche para Leviatán.
It's the start of stage 2, and while every single map and match is important in the VCT, this stage is where it all comes to a head, because this is where you qualify for Champion Soul. This is where you have an opportunity to lift a trophy over your head. It all starts here, and it starts with these two teams, Wyatt.
For MIBR, this is do or die. They need to win out. So
they need to have a flawless stage.
The first of many hurdles to cross for them. For Lev, I think this is just a must-win game. They should not be losing here. And even if it's a really close game, I think Lev fans, people that want to see them succeed, will walk away a bit disappointed.
As a Lev fan, they are the only player card from the VCT Americas I have, so I do want to see them win, by the way. I feel like, are we going to see like a repeat of what happened, though, at Shanghai, where it's like it was a must-win game for Lev, then they should have won it, and then they fall flat?
I mean, this is kind of like the opening games for them type of thing, right? Like, they're going straight up against MIBR, who, I mean, you said it, they haven't won a map. This one's weird, though. I love to see ShazHam over there. Sometimes you got to pop out and show people, and he's out right now. This is going to be really interesting. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Leviatán. I agree with both of you guys. This is a must-win game, but at the same time,
neither team can sacrifice. Like, it must win, because for Leviatán, I mean, losing to a team like MIBR, who's been struggling all stage, and they have three additions.
Nexus event. MIBR's known for it, man. I don't know.
That's true.
This feels like
Are you planting the seeds now for a Nexus event? That's amazing. I never thought I'd hear that on the analyst desk I work on. I love it.
This is new start for Leviatán. I think they got to think straight. I mean, immediately come into this after Shanghai, a little bit of a break, get their players back in here, and fresh start. Go back to the drawing board, figure out all the structural stuff that they need to get back into motion, right? Get back into good practice habits, get back into good post-play habits, all the stuff that makes them good throughout the regular season where they started getting very good. That needs to come back immediately.
I want to see if we're going to get silly. That's all I'm looking for.
Already starting silly time.
And also, there's going to be one deadlock, surely. Everyone, because of Stellar's massive brain-leading turtle troop running that deadlock comp, everyone is playing deadlock on this map now. So I don't expect
everyone got really hyped for ISO, and then like KO came out, and it was like, okay.
It's Ascent. I see KO still on board. But this is also Paint as a Challengers player coming in on his first Americas match. Ringing and playing ISO is just so awesome. I think it's the perfect opportunity. That's awesome.
Right now, Lev, I'm on the verge of passing out.
Yep.
I'm so sleepy. When it gets to Osboss, I need to see something. He needs to be playing, not Jet.
Dude, it
like
would
a Cypher, a Deadlock, something.
It would blow my mind. Osboss comes out and plays the Phoenix.
Yo,
I'd be like,
stop.
Would be fascinating. It would take me
This is
back to
crazy.
the old
How is
days.
there no changes yet, GB?
I know.
This is insane.
Come on, you guys.
You know.
Oh, wait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yo.
Okay.
What?
Arson on the Yoru. Yo, MIBR actually cooking. I want MIBR to win.
KJ,
oh my God. Guys, grow up. This is ridiculous.
All right, last one, KJ. Of course, that's fine. It's fine. MIBR gave us everything we wanted. We ate.
Come on, baby. Come on, Osboss. Something,
Do something
baby.
crazy.
Like,
Come on,
Jet, man.
Do something. He's gonna play Jet.
Oh my God. Guys, wake me up later. We're still playing this on Ascent?
All right, so everyone's still good on their Leviatán picks? We all feel quite confident?
I mean, yeah.
They're playing straight up, you know?
At least play the deadlock. Everyone's playing that.
Yeah,
All the cool
peer
kids
pressure is important.
Everyone. 3 teams.
3 teams. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and do this. Riot Games Arena, go ahead and make some noise as we send it over to your casters. You got no roster swaps here, baby. It's Vansili and Rivington.
Thank you, GB. It is good to be back, and indeed, this game today, the stacks are against MIBR, but man, my mind is blown here, Riv, because we're starting off on Ascent with an ISO coming out from Paint on his first time from Challengers onto the VCT stage and wants to put a markup right now.
I cannot wait to see what they have. They said it's a must-win all the way across, and that's a lot of pressure. So what do you do when there's pressure? You go back to comfort. So we see Ascent. Okay, probably be pretty standard composition from the teams. No, not at all. MIBR is just feeling it. You have to expect there aren't too many hard set protocols for them. They haven't had enough time to set these strategies other than the flash is going to go over for your duelist and create space. Let's play that. So let's add some more duelists, have some fun, and get into this one feeling comfortable. I can't wait to see what Paint can produce on this ISO. We also get the Yoru for a bit of distraction and map control. I feel like this one's on Lev to be able to read it, and maybe they will. Maybe that defense default comp here you bring onto Ascent is enough to just shut down this craziness.
It starts off well. We're already ready for a pop flash setup here to fight towards Gatwalk, so the read is there. Paranoia 2 coming out from Leviatán, but opening first is MIBR. Who better now than the two duelists, Artisan and Paint? And now that 4-1 setup that you had from MIBR on a default drops every single player of Leviatán, leaving only King alone.
Spike planted.
Slowly moving in, just a few shots in, it's not going to be enough. A flawless first round coming in from MIBR.
What a way to start.
I think I'm looking over, I see more than the W keys on the keyboard, but that's all they press. Seriously, straightforward, double peek going in, Art's in first, even with Paint having the double tap shield up, so really interesting to see the way they did that, and Paint's the follow-up there. But yeah, no hesitation here. Look at them both just hip and hip peek. And they keep pushing forward too to make sure there's no ground gain by Leviatán there.
And so interesting here, you don't have really somebody that's going to TP forward yet. They want to stay as a group for Paint and Artisan to start things off, and using Paint as a secondary entry, using that shield to guarantee these trades. But MIBR starts off great here and it's spins around on a flawless second one, denying the push of Leviatán on the attempt of a pop flash to fight towards A main. And only one player stands now towards this A side. It's Mazzino, stuck with only a classic, waiting for his teammates to rotate over, but it's looking pretty good here for MIBR to convert. So much patience coming out from MIBR, as well as the, once again, have this 4-1 setup.
Lati already has a few kills on the Sheriff over the rounds to make the flank, make that rotation over from Leviatán, just absolutely snuffed out, pushed through by Mazin, and there's the kill we expected.
Naspa's time for him to warm up. Only has to focus on himself as he was in a 1 versus 5, but this is now a second flawless for MIBR. For a team that Fraud was just talking with Smix earlier on, saying we've practiced for 3 or 4 days. They've actually had 2 consecutive rounds becoming flawlesses on their behalf. That's a lot of momentum gain here for the attack side of MIBR here as the underdog.
All right, Artine with a shotgun. Let's see how they flex this. Gonna probably be using the dimensional drift to get in right away, cause some trouble. And then you might have the ISO and Vaughn coming right behind you. This is going to be interesting to see the setup back towards A for MIBR. Really given just a few bits of info on the left side of the map with Piazzi over these past few rounds, but this is another W round.
And the util already came out, so there was nothing from the 0 point to stop the players from MIBR pushing in. So that's a 1-for-1, but finally it stops for a bit as they cannot follow behind for MIBR behind this Omen smoke. Forced now to fall back, forced now to cut noise, and also pinging to be careful as they're looking to re-clear back on middle.
Peek up, just inserted Shaz here. A little bit of help from Azine, but what's the reaction from Lev, right? Their back line haven't really crossed too far into the aggressive part of the map, and they're still waiting for MIBR's action. Little jump peek to come up, but you can see they're even trying to play it safe with a flash for the jump peek, and they still lose Aspas.
Also spawning here as Dice Mazzino. ShazHam getting the entry with that Guardian, and they're trying to wallbang Mazzino, who's solo. Liazzi with a late lurk, should be a free kill. Turn around, but Kong gets shut down. As only the last 2 players trying to anchor out towards the site. Tex is making it work. It's a 1-for-1, and Tex saves the round to deny the bonus win of MIBR.
Huge kills from Tex there. Lev needing to get themselves on the board. The read on Liazzi, the rest of the strats that MIBR is using right now is just too overpowering. And the fact that they're finally able to stop Liazzi there on the roams, big one on this. See, right in, they didn't stop. They had the dimensional drift and they used the shotgun right away, which also means they probably should have a little money for the next one coming in. But big from Tex. We saw him bringing that up quite a bit on the international stage too, being able to get the 3K rounds and not missing a beat here back on the Americas stage. Spikes down for this one, Van, so a little bit of a feel out on the map for MIBR.
Definitely. Could be unintentional to leave it so far behind, but you can definitely see here that any type of rotate will have to go through back towards the spawn rather. As you heard the first contact coming through. Doing a lot of these though for Leviatán, these jump peaks to try to get early information. Sometimes being punished, as we just saw in that previous round. And there's that first punish. Outlaw from Artazine. Aspas falls. Now trying to refight towards B main. It's an Owl drone to clear up first and text to move forward, but as they realize there's opposition there, they have to pull back and play a 1-1-2.
Like the way MIBR is playing around simple win conditions. We did see that shotgun buy from Arts in last round. A little too much money spent, so he has the Outlaw. And they wait for the pick. Why not? Why pressure too hard? Once you get close enough to the site, you still have ISO and Yoru to get in, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Tex looking down from the market. Grabs a few. No, he does not.
Couldn't get the wall bangs through from the pings they got on the other side of the shed too, so players are falling down from Leviatán towards this B side. It's up to Calm trying to anchor solo.
30 seconds left.
King is all the way only with a judge, so he gets the first one here, breaks the shield, gets the second, but Mazine's finally there for the trade. Plant will then come down, and King is only able to upgrade to a Guardian on this 1 versus 2.
Might be something else in front of him here, if he has the time to pick it up. I don't know if he saw the cape there.
Yeah, at this point though,
ShazHam hiding.
Trying to pick up a weapon. He's afraid here that he might get hurt, so he's looking for the element of surprise too, so forced to use nothing but the Guardian. Still has a paranoia. There's this swing out from Azine, and a 3rd round in for MIBR.
MIBR is doing a really nice job at forcing some fights, hitting Leviatán when they're not ready to respond with a flash or a little bit of assistance from utility that would really help a peak as such from Aspas, right? They're just trying to move from position to position, and MIBR has moved up so far. They have these angles Lev is not considering yet. So I have to rethink of the speed MIBR is playing at now. With or without the spike, MIBR is on these forward angles looking for the picks right away. That Outlaw was the big starter for the last one from Arzine. 7-2 for the Yoru. The aggressive comp with these double duelists is coming out strong right now.
Trying to find an element of surprise for Leviatán. Not too many times have MIBR tried to clear towards Wine. So Aspas is going to be there. They have a setup with a pop flash from Mazzino from Generator, so they could double swing through this. And first contact is going to have to be that turret on the A site. MIBR, though, reads that map differently. Just trying to clear slowly towards the middle, but now looking for this 3-2 split. There is a possibility for this trap to work.
Let's see how Paint works this, too. It's one of the first times we've seen him on short alone. Looks like they still gather with the team. And they walk it back. Lev has, I like the way Lev's playing too. Sure in their positioning, they're not rotating too much. This will give them a good retake as well if you're kind of looking for the positive of having everybody still alive, but it's going to be tough with just the low buy of pistols here and how strong MIBR has been able to set up in the sites.
Almost trying to get lucky here with the Sheriff wallbangs after pinging one player towards B main. TP towards the back of the site for MIBR, realizing now that the site is clear and a free plant coming in for Artazine. Getting closer to his next dimensional drift, as it's going to have to be a 5-player retake for Leviatán or just hold these back. But with the investments of the Sheriffs, it feels to me that they do want to get a little bit of fighting. Waiting for the door to break. Crossfire set up for MIBR. Yazi once again with a late lurk. And this is going to be fruitful against King. There's that double peek, but unfortunately a team flash coming through. But Artazine and Liazi, they'll still get these kills. No real results coming out from Leviatán. As a jump spot from Liazi in the back of spawn, and the push forward to ping. The wall bangs, and it connects.
Is this the best?
It's back in Furia days, 2 games with Furia, and then we kind of didn't see Liazi anymore.
That's true.
Liazi comes back in for MIBR, and it's like he hasn't missed a beat. Just the timings that he has on Leviatán right now, coming through mid, the plays at tiles in the first few rounds with the Sheriff to clean up some of the lower buys from Lev. Such a pain point for Leviatán right now. Liazi's doing a great lurk job on the Killjoy. 4-1 now, and back to a shotgun for Artzine. So that he's keeping low buys. They're able to kind of flex around these little fun strats they want to do, going strong, waiting for hard peaks, right back to this dimensional drift as they get info on A site.
It's all clear, but there is that spot from King in the back of the boxes. Might be a 1 and done for him. Might be a 2 or done, but it's finally traded out because of that shield that you had from Paint.
I'm loving
out the tally, yeah.
This is incredibly fast Valorant right now. At MIBR, it's like they sense the weaknesses that they can make against Leviatán with this comp, where the Yoru can just get in every time. Mazzino, however, trying to strike back their Vans. They got more work to do, though. Yoru V3.
Null coming out too for Mazzino, as that's now engaged Leviatán's attempt to the retake. Mazzino does get another opener. Only a classic left for Artazine, still gets something out of it. Mazzine's in the back, a 1v1, a tap on the spike. Aspas looking to put it halfway, now taking away, he's running across. Now just with the classic, lands the kill! The Red Bull clutch now from Azine as MIBR continues to steamroll on their attack side.
And a round that looked like Lev could stop the bleeding. They get taken down in the 1v1. It almost looked like Aspas was going to go for the full defuse on that for a moment, down to 75%, and then forced off the last moment. Really clean play by Mazine there to just wait the timer out a little more. Yeah, the aggression in sight forces the fight from Lev. They have to peek out. They lose a few members right away, and then just the dwindling of those members is enough for MIBR to put the finishing touches on in a 1v1. Jeez.
So many of these moments, too, where those duelists have nothing but classics to fight on these one-for-ones. And yet, understandable now that you have a pause coming out from Leviatán. Wyatt mentioned it. Everybody on the analyst desk mentioned it. This matchup right here, it's a must-win for both of these teams, but it should have been and should be an easy one for Leviatán. But they're falling behind by 4. It's been MIBR having full control of this attack side half. And you mentioned it. It's the composition that they bring out, and they seem to read all these nice weaknesses coming out from Leviatán. That's the beauty of being able to play against the standard compositions. Now with the brain from Front that brings it out with the rest of the team, now with Nazine too, that's been appointed IGL on his return to MIBR. They've worked some good ways to counteract on the way that the default composition of Ascent is currently being played.
And we just saw Idopata on the screen there. Coach for Leviatán now trying to give them some words of wisdom, what he may be seeing that they're not, or hearing that MIBR is really able to use against Leviatán. Because this is just such a cool W way to play for MIBR right now. Not giving Lev time to really think, but Lev trying their own hand to push Strat into B main. Looks like they might stall each other out.
Just trying to get a Hero Guardian too. That's in the hands of Aspas, not spotted yet. The wall banged over ShazHam. Puts Calm very low. Two players that were helping each other out here throughout their careers here towards Valorant. It's something that even Papa Calm tweeted out, that ShazHam sent out a mouse for Calm when his mouse died and he was trying to compete during the VCTs. Now they play against each other here on the stage, and ShazHam gets the upper hand of that battle towards B main.
Pressure by Paint. One of the cool things about ISO creating that just audio pressure, right? He's drawn 2 eyes there from market of both Tex and Aspas. And now the team kind of gets to move around and look for the second fight here. Using the map wisely. It's crazy. MIBR goes for these just absolute firecracker rounds, and now we just get this slow, methodical contact play straight into market.
Oh, and that's the recon dart that breaks across our placement, but Tex is still there on the off angle. There's that second one.
30 seconds.
Oh my God! From Tex with the Sheriff. Always unstoppable with that weapon. Advantage now for Leviatán. Conversion coming out from Leviatán on the Thrifty. A 4K for Tex to anchor up the market side.
Setting out lawn chairs for everybody in market there for a quick second. Absolute shots coming in from Tex, and we know him for that too. We saw it just a few rounds ago, missing the clutch, but warmed up, calibrated, and now absolutely putting down MIBR on that push towards mid. And that was a lot of patience as well by Lev here. They heard Paint there quite early. Aspas, he got turned away for the dart in B main, which looked like a perfect back and forth on the protocol MIBR had, but didn't distract Tex whatsoever in that, all rather in that Thrifty. Very, very big for their comeback to start here in this game.
See it now.
Trying more in the beginning.
Yeah. You're seeing where there's maybe slight weaknesses, but we'll hold that thought though as MIBR goes for the paranoia swing. Tex already gets dismantled. That's a B side open.
Yeah.
Player still trying to hold his ground, shield broken, but Artesina has also fallen. A 4-on-4 pop flash coming through, but no opportunities for Aspas to move in with the Blade Storm now that the smoke came out towards the spawn.
See if Lev can keep the strength going. They came out of that timeout with a win last round. Can they keep the pressure on as the spike gets planted? The lockdown's going to delay for a moment here.
It's early though, so there's still a lot of time after this for the re-hit to happen.
They're pushing.
Leviatán, and there's Aspas pushing through. The lockdown finally broken.
Player standing.
Now Mazine is also the last one standing and could not hold his ground in the back of the site. Leviatán now are realizing that through the chaos, where it may be slipping here for MIBR is trying to work that synergy. The macro looks really good for MIBR, but the micro, how they could swing, how they fight against the positioning of MIBR might be the saving grace here for Leviatán to start coming back in this game.
Yeah, I feel like that timeout from Idopata was more of We need to play more confident, push with each other, trade with each other. Just the way that they entered on lane side there, back into B and fell into sight. We were seeing so much hesitation from Lev to do that before, 1 by 1 or not having the util ready. But in sync on that retake and seeing much more of the Lev that we remember from the stage, international stage that is. Now into round number 9. Looks like they set up more towards the B side with a bit of that Killjoy utility now protecting the lurk that Paint would do towards mid on ISO. And we have both of our duelists here, shield up, and it's going to be Paint on the front line.
Nanostorm 2. That's going to slow down the push in for MIBR for now. In a half by Hero Rifle, the biggest one they have is the Phantom in the hands of Artazine, and 2 Stingers to follow behind of that. Odin ringing from Calm from the spawn, and an answer back from the Phantom through the smoke. In the back of the site, though, Tex continues to hold and anchor the B site. Pop flash, he's blind. The shots finally rings. That's ShazHam to answer back, and it's ShazHam alone in the site. There's that first one, but Aquas came right out for the trade. And Leviatán are now 1 round away to be able to tie up the game now on Ascent.
Yeah, that timeout did very big things for Lev here. It's just the confidence in which they're trading and fighting seemed to change. And also, probably just a few of the cobwebs wearing off here. Getting back on the stage for first game of stage 2. A few of these ones weren't the saving grace as Lev is still in the site, or Tex is still in the site. Good for another 2. Get 2 and your job's done. That's basically what you tell your teammates. And Tex did his job there. So now the pause will come from MIBR. Very fast switch in the momentum of the game here, where Leviatán is absorbing the pressure that Lev has been, or sorry, MIBR is putting on. And they're kind of relying now on getting the ultimates back, making sure they have dimensional drift to pierce these sites.
Now you definitely know here that there's not too much time for Fraud to be able to get the right message here through all of these players. That's maybe something that could be ringing through right now on this type of team that's put together for the first few weeks of VCT Americas, is potentially a language barrier now with 2 players, ShazHam and Paint, trying to mix in with Brazilian players speaking Portuguese. But at least, again, from the beginning, is they're able to get some nice little site hits at the very beginning to take some sites, take some control. And then now the team fights and the retakes for Leviatán are looking really good.
All right, so what's the plan? From the shadows, Izanop is just seeing Mazine with the spike, but they aren't even close on alt orbs there. It is the dimensional drift, though. So the timeout comes in when MIBR can go for the throat. Maybe get a little flip of the map and make it harder for Lev to put down this lockdown 2 that Tex will have in a late retake since they are on the B side.
Yeah.
So actually go back to Liazi roaming, too.
And that's a new role as well for Liazi. Usually playing a controller role. His 2 games at Furia, going into challengers, was also a little bit of KO and Raze, but now going to play the Lurk, having a new role as a Sentinel player. He's going to have to be the backbone now as MIBR is trying to execute inside this A site.
Oh my god.
Hunter's Fury now being used just to try to contest and take down Aspas, and it'll work. Swarming through, swarming forward. MIBR take control of the A site and take down a big piece at a Leviatán's retake.
Well, there was abilities used there. It just looked so free for how they were checking. Safe, I should say. Ultimately safe in how they did it. But the retake is ready. Lockdown is there. They've only lost Aspas.
And that's why everybody's towards that door. The Paranoid came through on the attack. Now answered back on a defense. Things are looking good here for Leviatán to start slowly coming back. But enough time has been wasted. And also, they took down Tex, so there's no lockdown available. Only the KO ult. But the crossfire is beautiful for MIBR in the end, as they finally answered back, and it took a timeout from Fraud.
It seems like this dimensional drift comp, like when they have a few things to add with it, it's like a free round card. It's like, hey, we're playing this one again, by the way, so there's nothing you can do about it. It's just such a scatter. This free peek they basically have on Aspas, if he gets away, the shotgun is literally on his tail, behind the clone. So Artsy was ready to take that out. Really nicely done here. And for how quick they put it together.
Yeah.
We are getting a few protocols out of the squad of MIBR here.
And you saw that backbone from Liazi. He was the one that took down Tex.
Yeah.
And they needed to put that lockdown for Leviatán to engage on that retake. But there's Pop Flash, Recon Dart, Odin Spray coming through. A fight towards A main, won by King. But Paint answers back onto Mazzino, back towards the market to even things up already in the first engagement of trade of utilities and sprays.
He's already pushing. This kid is just wild right now. He went right upstairs onto Cat to try and get another 1v1 fight. It's going to be what Artsy's checking to clear on A site too, as the map starts to calm down.
Especially when he popped up the shield, he wanted to find that aggression, fight that 1v1, and maybe gain some space. Now that it's gone, it's back to MIBR having to group up and maybe work the map, and looks like we're trying to sell a fake here towards this A site as Calm answers onto Paint first.
I mean, that job done, kill would help there, but it might have the lurk if Aspas.
Beautiful flash. That pushes some players away, but no contact, no win for either of these teams. And a positional advantage for Leviatán, doubling up towards the back of the side, making it harder for MIBR to execute in, especially with this crossfire setup now from the spawn. They push towards the spawn, though, and it's a 1-for-1. Lockdown not being used with 30 seconds left. It's up to King alone, playing long range. And at least they isolate those fights. ShazHam is now alone. The jump spot coming out from King, and he knows he's up against two in the back. Almost lines them both up, but X was there to avenge his teammate and give the round back for Leviatán.
Some of these rounds getting a little sketchy there. A few kills go down. I think Lev did a really nice job there at not allowing the double tap to find anything more. Everybody started to back up.
Yeah.
It's one of the crazy things I think ISO brings to the table is, right, is yeah, he has double tap up and you know he's coming for you, but he gets to activate that, right? You don't have to kill someone first now. So you can start to add that pressure and just put yourself right in the fight. Lev's doing a good job at not allowing those single 1v1s to happen, though. It doesn't mean that MIBR hasn't found a way to work it together. When Paint's in the strategy with that shield up, it does seem to be giving Lev trouble. And here we go towards mid once again.
Aspas challenge shield is up and already takes down Paint and dashes away. And for somebody who's been nullified in terms of economy, not being able to get an op out this whole half, is still making magic work, though. Playing solo towards middle and giving the early advantage for Leviatán.
Back towards mid, thinking they'll actually find a peak, and they have. Lev have been given a few shots towards mid here, but he's...
The push.
Later rounds, a little more calm in mid, but tighter on the extremities as you see a kill there.
And they lost both their duelists and even their initiator. That's the spike as well. Crumbling down our MIBR in this last round of the half. Looks like we have pull back here with the ult from Leviatán just to play the power of numbers, stacking 3 players up towards the A side a little bit more passively, and leaving a little bit of a nose peek here from Aspas. He's going to have to watch towards market and also towards B main, setting things up with techs. And seems like MIBR realizes that, so they have the best chances here to fight this 2-on-2 on B.
Turret came back up so they can watch spawn. They give themselves a little bit more cover from anybody going towards the backside. Now they get to watch that attacker.
Easy kills coming through from Aspas. Last one a little labor, but it'll still work out. The third into the round, and Leviatán finally find their footing in and find a little bit of fight to tie up the first half.
It took a bit of time to figure out how to play against this MIBR composition, where they were playing fast. And like we said, it was basically a win condition card when they had the dimensional drift, so that would be A, and otherwise the map seemed to flip back and forth with a few mid rounds, and it was Lev playing back, playing strong to bring it to 6-6, but should they have gotten more advance?
Possibly at this point. It looks so good for MIBR. There's so much things you could talk about and nerd out about, but who better than the analyst desk to break down their nerdiness of the attack side of MIBR?
Hello, everyone. We're nerds, and we're going to talk about what we just saw. No, seriously. MIBR, let's go. I'm all about it.
That's a great half.
See them pop off at the beginning of that first half. Quite refreshing for sure, Mel, but there was definitely some things you kind of pick out and be like, okay, there are issues here, there are issues there, but overall, MIBR are showing great form at the start of it.
I think it's funny because we were really hyped about the ISO getting picked, but Yoru was actually kind of stealing the stage. I'm not gonna lie, Yoru was kind of clapping everyone. Oh, sorry, I just saw that. That was insane. But it's really interesting because I can kind of see the vision of what they're trying to cook with the ISO defaults. Like you have the ISO pop shield off rip, you work mid, but I know you mentioned, Bala, they were kind of countering it, Lev was, whether inadvertently or on purpose, they were kind of countering.
Yeah, I love the Odin from Calm trying to spam down the shield instantly. But yeah, I mean, to me, this is Artson coming back to his element. This is him playing like he did in Kickoff. It's fantastic. On the Yoru tube, which, by the way, was not touched in the patch. I don't know why they're picking it now, but it was not touched. And here he is frying. I think 6-6 is a great half for them to start after what we saw on stage 1 from them. But that's kind of, I'm a little shaky on this comp and how it's going to play on defense compared to what we actually have from Lev, the standard.
Yeah, on the other side, though, for Lev, gotta give massive credit to Tex, who early on kept them in the game with that crazy Sheriff 3K from Market and was also stopped Lev from losing to the bonus with another nice 3K. And then late in the half, King's aggressive control of A main, taking timings and winning fights there was huge for them to just get those last couple rounds, because Ascent is so defensive-sided that 6-6, not ideal.
Yeah, well, hey, look, MIBR, they're sitting with 6 rounds here. It's better than what we've seen in the past. And if anything, we'll see if MIBR can continue this one forward or this Lev shut it down to send it back to the casters.
Brought up a good point there on the analyst desk as how Tex had so many hero moments to help out Leviatán on one side and then King on the other end to really find not necessarily weaknesses around MIBR, but really catch them off guard here to make this game so close.
Yeah. And he has had huge impact for, I think, months now, right? It's just continuous play, and I don't think he peaked. He just continues to slowly go up and go up. That'll be a perfect time here if they can keep that going through stage 2 for Leviatán. We see that ISO factor for Paint playing in his first game, picking the first ISO for VCT.
And that's the question mark too. How can this team of MIBR now play on the defensive side with this comp? And Paint so far is just looking for an opportunity here to jiggle peek with the Sheriff and activate as soon as it gets contact. Well, he does have support from the other duelists. Arnazine's closing the gap with him to hold back towards the tree. And you're playing info gathering, the same things I usually see towards this B site from the KJ utility, from the Sova also holding up between ShazHam and Liazi towards B. Paint's double tap. Now expired. Owl drone from Calm clearing out the B site. Leviatán now pushing in towards this B site as well as finally ShazHam gets contact. Able to escape for a bit. As now the flood comes through from Leviatán, closing that gap at first blood and second for MIBR. Trying to answer back at the 2 players. Beautiful flash coming out from the back lines. Whoa. It's going to be very difficult for King to try to go for the flank and win a 1 versus 4. It's not going to happen. A second pistol now for MIBR.
It takes 2 to tango, and it's exactly what MIBR did in the back of Boathouse. They're really nice back and forth. It looked like chaos. There's Liazi was like back and forth trying to find the darts that were coming in, trying to dodge flashes that were coming in, but really nice job by those 2. Pick him up with the ghost frags and keep almost everybody alive on that one.
Yeah. Almost like instead of tangoing, they were b-boy dancing a group of like 2 versus 4 and still were able to win some fights here towards the back. And delayed well enough here for the rest of MIBR to come in from the back of the spawn. So that was super nice hold for the 2 players here of ShazHam and Liazi. Second round though of this half. Bulldog in the hands of Mazine. Shots being heard, so they do know for Leviatán there's somebody in the vicinity of line or front A site.
Super active. B main control, A main control. They want to give Leviatán nothing on these rounds, not even an orb, if they can help it. Looks like they'll back off for now, and it obviously eventually goes to Lev just out of time. But where do they go now?
Yeah. Makes sense though, as Liazi was the one pushing towards B main, and they need his utility towards this B side for MIBR to get the late information should there be a reset for Leviatán.
Right here.
And it is happening. Leviatán are pulling 3 players back towards Catwalk. Still potentially ending to split towards the A site.
How long till dart? So they have it up for calm. Cover going out. And wait on that. A few smokes. They'll hit. And they've chose the soft site for now, so this is going to work for Lev. It's can the sheriffs and the ghosts connect here to clean somebody up right away.
The Bulldog will, though.
That's a no.
The Bulldog of MIBR will. First blood for Mazine, second one for Paint. As they're trying to push through the smoke. Tex gets denied. Pop flash, 2 players blinded, and that's Mazine and Arzina flawless. In the anti-eco for MIBR.
At that point, readable for MIBR, right? The way the map actually flowed for how they had B main control. Yeah, they gave a bit up. A main control wasn't really necessary because coming in from A main is just going to be easy for them to check from sight. So it became the cat focus a little bit towards mid, and they walk into tree, they get taken down. So really nice job by MIBR, kind of reading the map without any info there to be had. Process of elimination really in the way that Lev was moving. All right. 8-6 now as we get to this bonus. As Leviatán would be so strong to be able to clap back just for 1 round and stop that momentum. And looks like they'll give Aspas a little bit of an advantage towards mid here and see if he can create an opportunity.
M1, M2 control from the initiator utility of Leviatán, and weren't able to break the turret on the B side attack of MIBR. So this is still an opportunity here for the swing out from Tex. who just got pinged, couldn't capitalize on the extra swing that came out from Liazi. And that's a stalemate for the B-side hold, and that's going to reset Leviatán on how much they want to push down towards middle.
They're just pushing forward. It's like Mazzino can give a few flashes here to Aspas, but they're just looking for these fights.
They're crouched just before. Now the wall bangs, but it still seems that Paint is the one that gets the most damage out of that duel against Aspas. But it will engage now the push of Leviatán towards the B site. Held back towards the market, Paranoia being pushed towards the B main. Nano swarms to delay towards the front of the site, allowing the rotate to happen. They have 3 players now, make that as Liazi has fallen towards the lane. Openers are still in favor of Lev as Paint gets 2, escapes with a double tap. And there's 2 bullets left here in the Bulldog. Well, there's 23 seconds left. Seems like Leviatán want to commit towards this B site. You see how far back Mazin is so far, so it's up to these 2 players, and unfortunately ShazHam is the first to fall. So with these 2 bullets, he cannot get at least one. Mazin now stuck on a 3 versus 1, spotted by the turret. They know he's close. All of them staying towards the back of the site. Cover going out. And odds once again against Mazin. Isolated 1 and 2 kills and almost got that one against King. But for the second time here, the bonus round gets denied, and Leviatán will take it.
That's a big one. I don't think too many reads are really coming in through this just yet. The teams are playing very reactive of what's happening, and I think Leviatán acting as the squad they are, that 5 that remember how to play, are starting to come out on top of some of these situations as the game goes on. And I think they're happy to almost be on attack side now with the way they want to come at this side of MIBR. So Vandals almost all around here through low armor bias from Tex and the squad. Focus looks again to be towards A, so they just kind of do a not a default, but their regular 1-4 here with the setup towards mid. The question is, how could MIBR use the comp? Is it really just Artsine to go back and forth through sight? How much does double tap get used for a push out and Paint to get info, right? Looks like they'll only use it for the fights. Would it be main control consistent for MIBR if it goes down this time?
And that's what they're trying to do. Pull back more towards the A side, get info early towards Catwalk, double push towards B main, but unfortunately here the double swing was not the best spacing, which allowed Tex to have just micro adjustments to get these 2 kills, these 2 victories, and open up the B side. TP towards the back though, that says Artazine alone. He gets a 1-for-1 and Aspas clears out the rest. Once again, for the second time, Azine stuck in a 1 versus 3, but doesn't even get 1 for his troubles this time around, and Leviatán had now tied up the game.
It's ridiculous what Tex is doing right now. Brings me back to Shanghai a little bit. You see Tex and Aspas playing A on Icebox, and that's basically all they needed there, the way they worked around each other. Here, Tex is just on kind of solo missions. 2 kills here, 3 kills there. Those 2 to start off the round. And what's MIBR going to do when this duelist composition is only 3 players trying to come in? Really strong stuff. And Lev, I think Lev is now letting MIBR get antsy. Their composition kind of wants to move. It kind of wants to find you. So they're more than happy to see who's going to be crawling out of the woodwork on the extremities as Tex picks up 2 to start that last round. So where do they go for round number 17? They've tied it up again to 8-8. A low buy for MIBR is the only thing that's really going to cause for pause here for Leviatán. They don't want to get shotgunned. They don't want to get silly killed. So this one might slow down.
It's a great call, especially now that you're playing a solo initiator with MIBRs on their composition. So you can really get aggressive info when ShazHam's been playing towards this B side, but on the rest on the A side, you kind of just have to play a little bit more reactionary.
Revealing area.
Leviatán understands this, so that they're playing this a lot more slowly within these rounds. They're just still trying to sniff out where the stack could be here, knowing that MIBR has a lower economy this round. Only a stinger from Azine, 4 shares for the rest of the team. It's a 4-player stack on the A side, but still a solo hold on tree from ShazHam. 1 smoke basically eliminates how he could help the team within the A site.
They couldn't all come in here, but it looks like they're actually going to go buy it. They just want it from the plant. They're going to try to pressure the site.
And out on the flash, Mazin gets 2 with the stinger, now finally double flash. There's the push coming up from the top. Artazine finally connects onto King. Knows that Aspas is stuck towards hell. A 2 versus 3 disadvantage for Leviatán. The spike is down. There's only 16 seconds left. Trying to get the wall banks, not breaking the door yet. Recon Dart out on the attack, splitting 2 players, allowing now the plant to come down for calm. Shot darts coming through as well from MIBR to answer back. None left for ShazHam. Only 3 shares in the hands of MIBR on the attempt of a retake. No weapon upgrades, none in sight. As Nanoswarm's trying to clear the corners. Still a lot of time to work with for them to micro-scale back within the site. They finally spun Aspas towards A main.
That 52 HP is scary versus these Sheriffs.
And Com's trying to set that crossfire. There's that first peek. There's that first shot. And there's that second one. Fabardazine, long range onto Aspas. A thrifty round converted by MIBR.
Liazzi's Sheriff is otherworldly right now in this first game he's in. Picking up that one, great communication by MIBR to kind of take a breath there for a moment and not go for the fast peek. They identify one A main. They just had to identify really one more, and Liazzi found it on Jenny. After that, blood was in the water, and they sank their teeth in. What a round. Never out, it seems, as they pick one up and bring it back to Vandals here in a full by 3 ults. Now, let's see if they use that Dimensional Drift as another just win card from the defensive side, if they have something cooked up.
Yeah.
Looks like just gate crash over towards B if Artsine has to be there, and they'll play reactively again here to left. Going out to mid.
Kill contract also available for Paint. He was setting up here towards the B side in case there was any pressure coming through from a turret. Now it's a KO ult, so none of that util, none of those ults that you mentioned will be able to be used here towards this B site for now. All of them being nullified. Mazzino trying to lead the charge here as he's pulsing through towards his B site. Clearing everything, clearing the KJ utility.
Overload done.
But there's that push from Tex. Through all of the chaos here, somebody has snuck through. And Tex has a perfect opportunity to get the backstab here onto Paint. Paint realizes that Sixth Sense looks back here towards the back of mid.
Yeah, it's great communication and call that Paint should be looking at that, but it still may be timing in favor of Tex. They're going to start hitting A to create the opportunity, and that's 2 down.
And Mazine, unfortunately, as his teammates are falling left and right, could only get one. They had the high-low at least to hold the A side and a weakness towards the rotate on from B to A. And unfortunately, realizing that that garden was open, it was not pinged ever by MIBR to be careful of those positions when you rotate back. So 2 opportunities so far for both of these teams that have been capitalized, right? You look at the thrifty round that Leviatán just lost where they didn't clear the right side, which allowed here Mazine to get 2 kills with a stinger this time around. Lack of communication here from MIBR. You see Tex getting a perfect first blood and the rest of them just flooding in towards the A side to win this round.
It's a nice strat by Leviatán. I mean, if you think of the playbook so far, it's been, Tex could be on the left side towards B. They play A, maybe 2 cat and 2 towards A or 4A and maybe mid. Here, they run no command, KO ult up mid, stop at market and pull back. First fake of the game, and bit by MIBR. They left tree open and Tex just made a house there and nobody could come through. So really nice job by Leviatán to just switch it up slightly with an easy little fake there that MIBR misread. So still some ults. Artsine gonna go for his biggest purchase this time. No shotguns or anything outlaws. It's an op. So they're trying to do something now with timeout too. So that makes me think you're almost playing this like a jet now. Gate crash to the other side or give yourself a second shot after your first one. Change your position. Just be a regular sniper and kind of stop whatever momentum that they might be getting on the side of the Leviatán.
I think this is also like the first hop that we're seeing this game. It's been very
absolutely.
back and forth on how people are really pressing forward on executing towards these side and being very meticulous in how you're clearing on his defaults on the attack too when you're scaling on the side of both MIBR and Leviatán when they had the opportunity to play the attack so far. But yeah, this timeout being called by Fraud. This op, it's a glass cannon if I'm not mistaken before we got into this timeout screen. So they have to find the best value out of this because losing an op early and then you're only gonna have Paint with a kill contract, and then the rest of the team could potentially be up in arms here where they could get shot left and right. So they have to be really good on how they could maximize the positioning here of this off.
Yeah. And again, these are very, very big wins for MIBR. That off is a glass cannon as it comes in, and you expect MIBR still has the roster changes of different members coming in. So it's going to be difficult after this too. This win means a lot.
It's also very interesting that they're pulling out the glass cannon off in a moment where you're on a deficit for ultimates as well. The dimensional drift could be huge and you won't be able to come out of a dimensional drift and get great value with an operator, but we'll have to see. Maybe the game plan is also not having to use it at all if they could get the first blood, an early pick with this operator who's posted up on middle. We're going back and forth on trade of utilities, at least with the initiators, and it's Leviatán's call to pivot back towards the B site, and you see the gate crash moving in towards this B site as well. Potentially an early TP if they do get any contact towards B main.
I wonder as well if they see that op, they get a peek, and then it just gets iso-alted, get taken out of the game if Paint can take you out. Ways to just identify where the members are. Shoulder peek from the Yahtzee. That's going to be the turret contact first. Safely played. That almost was his life there. And here comes the timing.
That was definitely good timing. One more extra peek, he was donezo, but at least Leviathan's ready to fight inside this B side. Spike has also committed inside there. There's a dimension trying to find information. The Hunter's Fury on the attack, trying to clear towards the back of the site. ShazHam being suppressed towards the back, and Aspas gets the big. Calm also lands his Hunter's Fury onto Liazi.
A few more towards Boathouse. ShazHam has a lot of work to do.
Still alive towards the back. The double swing, there's that first, but couldn't land that second one onto Mazzino. A 1-for-1, a 3-player advantage, and I feel like I've seen this before. And for the third time, Mazzine is stuck in a 1 versus 3 against different players and also coming from a different spot. But we seem to be pretty good, at least on Leviathan's side, on how you want to commit here and play this pulse plan, and it's going to be very difficult. Mazzine potentially here might have no choice but to save his Vandal, and unfortunately as well, I think it's too far to pick up a knock that was left behind here towards that B side to try to save it, try to do at least some econ damage. But Leviathan finally able to fight back when it was like 4-1 in favor of MIBR, and they finally take the lead here in this first map.
Oh, poor guy chooses Aspas for his first ultimate.
Second,
yeah. Unfortunate. Unfortunate to get just ranked #1 by the analyst desk. Let's try this one. Rough stuff. Yeah, it's going to be tough, honestly, to grab anybody on the side of the Leviathan in that ISO wall. Let's see where they go from this one. 10-9. Sheriffs are there, and they've been very strong for MIBR and the patience they bring to that play.
They don't want to skip a beat now for Leviathan. It's an anti-eco, but Mazzine has the hero Vandal. Yet we want to commit the lockdown to push towards this B site. Smoke coming through, trying to get some players picked off towards the spawn, but everybody stays alive for now. Spike finally coming in, it gets planted. 2 players towards the market for MIBR, 2 towards the spawn, a decoy to come out first. Lots of util coming across. And it actually smothers Leviathan on the pulse plant for now. 2 players play towards B main. Beautiful recon dart, allowing Tex and Mazzino and Calm to go to work. Like a house of cards. 4-time. Mazzine on a 3 versus 1. Poor guy. Poor guy.
I love how much Ascent is defense-sided, and we've seen so many games lately just across everywhere where these attack games are just like, okay, they got the groove, here they go. It's like they're not stopping anymore. Whoever's on attack this game just seems to have the vibe right now, and that's Leviathan's. This is just, like you said, smothering util, but shooting through the smokes, just peppering the side of MIBR as they tried to get into the site, making it impossible. 3 rounds in a row now for Leviathan as they are 1 away from game point here. Looks like they have a low buy on Aspas, but blades are there, so not even to worry because they still got the money to work with.
I think Shaz might have missed his recon dart. They had the vulnerability ready with the Hunter's Fury potentially here to try to get some fast pings and a surprise fight towards A main, but they could potentially do here towards Catwalk. Owl Drone to clear out towards the front. And there's that Hunter's Fury coming out. Pings onto 1. Will he get the contact and connect? Fortunately not, but calms down to 70.
Hard to kill another Sova player. They know the dance. They know the tricks. They almost get taken out. Liazi just misses the crosshairs of Tex. Gets out safely.
Once again, misses a turret, which doesn't give a chance for MIBR to really fight back towards B main if they lose control here of market. Again, weak side on B. But this time Leviathan trying to execute and take control of tree to start. Knife spawning 2, including Paint, who does get the first blood though onto Aspas, who had his Blade Storm. Paranoia coming through on both ends, and now it's a trade of kills. A 4 versus 4. A swing out for ShazHam. Beautiful flick, and towards the back of the site, towards A, and it's up to Tex once again. This man's on fire on this map and is keeping the team up and alive here for Leviathan.
Slow play from Liazi, definitely a possibility here, but almost too tall of a task.
Oh, there's that first one though. And they tried to do the crouch in the front. Protocol's now being denied. Both Timmy's coming out in the first one to fall. No double-double here.
Oh, sees one. All right, identify one, look for the second on a fight. Try to get that third party from the teammate.
Estimates here that the second one has to be Hell. He drops now. Clock is ticking, so he has to make a move. There's that first swing, and Mazzino with the wide one. Leviatán now at map point.
Very well played by Lev. Nice patience there by Mazzino on the take. Makes it look good, but still stopped by the side of Lev. Their momentum stays. And again, yeah, Tex just cleaning up here. Very big return there to be getting double tap on the Blade Storm, but it still wasn't enough as Tex just insta snaps around here on Tree and then towards Heaven. Close. Very close. Not out yet. Still can grab 3 rounds here. A few buys can make it happen for the side of MIBR, but you better believe Leviatán is going to come on hard this round.
And money's not good.
Yep.
The knife denies utility from both duelists inside A main. Still seems like Leviatán wants to fight this though. Just outside of that smoke, there's that pop flash with the Allen drone. Trying to clear at least around the smoke. Now they finally spot Artazine.
Time to jump.
Puts the gate crash to try to TP away. Could be a fake 1-2. There's that jump spot to spot Aspas. And it's committed now to fall back towards the A site.
Just trying to create a little bit of trouble on A main. And credit to Leviatán for not really biting on that and giving up any utility, just kind of listening and hearing what's happening around them. So I'd say upper hand Lev right now in that close positioning to just crash on A. Basically ready to knock the front door down based on whatever Tex is seeing here mid.
It's important right now for Paint, who's currently playing towards Tree. And you see also Mazine pushing out with the Judge. They need to control this area. Should they lose control of the A site, the Yazi has a lockdown to work with, and they're going to need to keep that area so they can rotate across and use it.
30 seconds left.
And with the call at 30 seconds left, that's the call to push towards that A site. They'll realize that it's open. Mazine is up to a big fight here on Catwalk. Caught here in... Could have been caught, but Tex doesn't clear the corner.
Spike planted.
All right, 5v4 retake. Can they convert? This should be MIBR's favor, but Lev has themselves locked in as the lockdown comes through.
And that's the biggest kill to do. This allows their Liazi to put the lockdown. Players now coming in stuck. They have a lineup being set up. Is it going to break? And it will. 3 players now stuck inside the site. There's that paranoia thrown towards the Hell. There's a swing in, but Leviatán are still holding their ground. Only 2 players left here to take down for Leviatán to take the map. It's up to ShazHam and Artazine. Artazine now dropping down. There's that first, but the second one not through. Mazzino with the third, and Leviatán fights back to win the first map of Ascent.
6 was enough on the defensive side. It seems everybody was feeling it from the attack side here to start off on Ascent to get us going on stage 2, and it was. Tex coming out so strong there. The little things that were giving Leviatán the advantage, and just on that last round to write it is the fragmentation grenade, right? Had they not had that, that's probably MIBR's round because everybody was staying in sight waiting for that instant. So Leviatán having a bit of the upper hand in some situations, I think, allows them here to topple MIBR. But the way MIBR is playing, you still got to be worried. They are just all out right now and having a good time.
100% for a team that has only practiced for 3 or 4 days, has 2 stand-ins. They look so coordinated in these moments where they could fight back against MIBR. This gives me a lot of faith into the series that it's not going to be a blowout. And we'll soon figure out if it'll be a blowout on the second map after the break.
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35. You're gonna be here forever.
And
Here's your wireless contract.
I need a lawyer for this. Those were hard days.
Representative, switch!
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
Red Bull gives you wings.